Let's talk about competing and timing for just a moment. I have talked about 10 to 15 people out of competing this year. Why? Their lifestyles, their schedules truly do not align with the sacrifices or the extremes that are required to step on stage or bring a stage-ready physique. Or another reason I've talked people out of it is because there were just way too many red flags as far as maybe body dysmorphia, disordered eating, not comprehending that this is a pretty subjective sport and that their entire sense of self-worth would be dictated by the opinions of judges. If your year is packed with an overwhelming amount of activities or events, this might not be the best year for you. If you are too busy being a caregiver to somebody, or raising a family, or school or work is requiring a lot of energy from you, and your time management skills aren't where they need to be able to handle all the energy that is required of you, it might not be your year to compete. Our bodies and our minds need to be prepped and ready to handle a certain amount of stress. And although training is good for the body, it's a healthy thing to do, it is a stressor to the body nonetheless. And that in the gym, plus the cardio that might be required of you, plus the very strict eating that is required of you in conjunction with the stressors that are required from you in your family, in your work, in your education, it might be too much for your body to handle, and you may not have the best results due to that, or it may cause you to constantly slip up on the dieting part of this sport, which is the most common part. It has error in it. Understand that the stage will always be there. You can come back anytime. There is a reason why I haven't stepped on stage between 2021 and today. What is required of me in other aspects of my life takes priority to me stepping on the stage right now. Will I step on the stage again one day? Probably. Is that happening right now? No. I am lifting and I am eating for my mental and physical health. I am prepping for the summer. I have events. I have photo shoots. I have things that are coming up. So you can still train and diet down for different goals. So whether it's just health, you want to feel better, you want to feel more confident, you want to move better for a photo shoot, whether you're prepping for the summer, Tiki Bar is your stage. That's fantastic because you can hit those goals without the extreme that is required of you to step on stage. There is a difference between stage lean and beach lean, right? I don't like to use those terms, but it's a real thing. You have to have bigger picture thinking. You cannot be stuck and confined into this short-term tunnel vision. Come to terms with that. Maybe this isn't your time for the stage, and that's okay. For the people that are on prep for their show right now, this doesn't pertain to you at all. But for people who are inquiring about competing, but come to me with this huge list of excuses or reasons or vacations or events or kids events, or they're being a caregiver for somebody that's ill in their family. I've been there. And I was never upset about not being able to compete. I knew that, listen, there's a time and place for everything. Maybe next year is my time. You gotta do what's right for you and what's right for the people around you. Sometimes this requires a big sit back and conversation with yourself, or you can talk to me about it. I will be the first person to tell you if this is a good idea or not. Because if you think about it, flip it around, do I want to coach somebody who isn't in the right mindset? Do I want to coach somebody who has a million excuses? Do I want to coach somebody who all of their energy is being pulled into other priorities. Nothing wrong with that. You gotta prioritize. But I'll be the first to tell you that I want you to go take care of those priorities. I want you to put those first. Those things do come first. Timing wise, maybe 2024 is your year. So think about it. Put it in the back of your mind. Understand that there are still other goals you can set for yourself this year, whether it's that Rev photo shoot, whether it's just prepping for the summer, whether it's just to be healthy, confident, and feel great for your family so you can be better for your family. These are just some examples. If you have questions about it, hit me up. I'm always here for a good conversation.